before I have to be where I have to be today. I have a really busy next 4 days. I love this right here. This is like my favorite part of this walk. And the fact that these tree roots have made like a little trail or whatever. I don't know. It's just real magical. It really is. I love this part. And this tree is amazing too. I love this part of the walk. But I have to, I've got lots of things I've got to do. Got a really busy next 4 days. Really, next 2 weeks are going to be really, really busy for me. But I will be sure and get all of my, what the hell is that? Hold on, what the hell is this? Somebody tell me, hold on. It's some kind of falcon or some, what the fuck, man? What is this? It's a big bird. What is that? No, it's... Oh my God, there's a few. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. What are they? Hold on. Let me see if I can connect. Sometimes I can connect to nature. That was badass. Wow. I'm listen to him. I love Indiana. See, this is why I won't leave Indiana. I won't go. I refuse. Even though, you know, if you guys watched I think it was my tours video that I made yesterday, I had talked about the fact that I have associated trauma with Lynchburg, Virginia. Trauma, poverty, struggle, just anything bad that happened to me in my childhood. And Indiana was always the good stuff. I would come here in the summer. My grandpa would come and get me from Lynchburg, Virginia. Look at the webs, look. And I would spend my summers here with him. And I had magical summers just like this. They were magical. And, you know, we always had enough. And we lived on 14 acres and we had a pond. And, you know, we would catch and eat bluegill and bass. My grandpa would cook up. And, you know, we had, you know, corn. And, you know, we had a garden. We always had fresh fruits and vegetables. There was always enough. So I've always associated Indiana with abundance and plenty and peace, and the other place with just the opposite. So I really had to clear that. I really had to look at it like, because and the reason why I was able to really kind of look at it is because I had a soulmate come in, and it was really weird because we grew up together, and we knew each other when we were real young. Our families were friends. And, you know, it's been years. And, you know, we've been kind of talking on social media. And we got together over the weekend. You know, I went over there Sunday. And like, literally, we sat up and talked like we were kids. I mean, we talked. And, you know, it was just so nice to get out of the city, because he still lives out there in the country where I grew up at, you know. And I spent the night with him, and it was just amazing. It was just wonderful. I didn't even want to go home. I was like, wow, this is like the best night I've had in a long time. And, you know, some people just feel like home. Look at this. And he literally just felt like home. You know, and if anyone watches, you know, my twin flame videos or whatnot, you know that been working on grounding that 5D union into the 3D. So I'm not sure what this curveball is, what this twist in the road is, but you know what? I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to go with the flow. because that's what I do now. And I know that people come in for different reasons, you know, to help us with different things. And like I said, he just felt like home. I mean, it was just amazing. I felt like I had gone home, and just that comfort and that security, and of especially, you know, there's just something about, you know, somebody who comes from the same place you do, especially if it's an amazing place like I came from, out around the Selma, Indiana area, you know, around the Prairie Creek Reservoir, which is just amazing. So it was just like paradise. It was like this and then some. You know, and we both talked about the fact that we can't leave Indiana. Like, we just, it's I don't know what it is. I just feel very tied here, and it's not like a bad type of tied. It's almost like a soul tie. And so with that being said, I was able to kind of look at some things, because the messages that came out for me were, why was I associating one place with bad and one place with good? I understand why. I mean, I understand the reasons behind it, but really, just like people can't make us feel one way or another, places really can't make us feel one way or another, because all of those feelings really come from within. And so that home feeling, you know, that my soulmate gave me, I really need to be able to give that to myself. And I need to stop associating trauma with places, even good things with places, because what happens when, you know, you can't go there anymore? You know, you're stuck where you're at. Are you just not going to feel good? You know, you have to be able to create that feeling of security and comfort wherever you're at. So that's really what I'm working on now. But there's something about Indiana, and, you know, like I said, he and I were talking about it, and I do believe it has to do with the Native Americans. I mean, it's just that spirit that's here. And, you know, especially when you're so connected to the land and to the water, and, you know, you can feel those spirits. And I have, you know, become aware of the fact that I have had, you know, a past life, maybe two, one that I'm aware of, where, you know, I have this Native American past life that, you know, it's come up for me that I was some sort of medicine man, maybe a medicine woman, but I'm getting that I was a medicine man, because it's really crazy, because I've always known how to heal and make herbal remedies and make salves and balms and teas and smoke blends. And I didn't take any classes for this. This is just something that I just naturally know how to do. And so it came from somewhere. I mean, I know some of it came from, you know, the time that I spent with Dr. George. And, you know, I talk about Dr. George. He's a spirit guide who I also had a past life with. And he was a doctor. I heard something moving. He was a doctor. And so I learned a lot from him about, you know, healing. And my grandfather was also a healer. He also used natural remedies and stuff. And they're kind of they were the same soul. It's kind of complicated, but you meet soul family and you recognize them from past lives, because you recognize their energy. And that's kind of how you wake up to your past life experiences. Some of it is through a Kundalini awakening, and I had talked about that in my twin flame channeling I did the other day. And a true Kundalini awakening is sexual in nature, because you have to be activated. And I have found that really the twin flame, the physical form of the twin flame, is really who can activate us sexually. Because the Kundalini has to be awakened sexually. It's a sexual energy. Because sex is actually more than sex. And what's really crazy is that once you get into the fifth dimension, and I'm kind of in and out of the 5D, as I need to clear things myself, as I need to transmute. I'm sorry, I'm walking and talking, so I'm real winded. I'll stop here in a minute. I have to go into lower energies to do that. No judgment. But I'm kind of in and out of the 5D. But what I know about the 5D is that it's not sexual. The way that, sexual energy can actually open up portals and gateways in the 3D. In the 5D, like let's say for example you have that 5D twin flame union. If you were on a twin flame journey, I have experienced this. There's no sex, of course, because there's your souls and not bodies, and you recognize the fact that you're souls and that you're having human experiences. But in the 5D, you really don't need sexual energy to connect. You don't need that to be able to show love, to be able to be intimate, because you already are. And it's more of this vibrating energy that you feel between the two of you in 5D union, that it's sexual in nature. Like, it's really hard to explain. It's sexual in nature, but there's no sex. It's almost like this very high vibrational, swirling, whirling, amazing, vibrating energy of already feeling satisfied. You already feel satisfied, so the energy itself feels sexual. I can't, it's really, really hard to explain. Like, I'm really having a hard time explaining it. And because it's 5D, there aren't words to describe it. Because a lot of the things that happen in the fifth dimension, there aren't words to describe it, because words and language are human. Like, that's something that we came up with. And in the 5D, you're in that universal realm of not having a language. There's no language, it's all energy. So I really can't explain it. But let's just say once you get into the 5D, the fifth dimension, it's not so much about sex, because you don't need to actually have sex anymore, because you already have that vibrating energy of already feeling satisfied. If you can imagine that. Just imagine this big whirl, this big vibrating energy of just already feeling satisfied. There's no longing for, there's no need for, you don't need anybody else, because you already feel all that within yourself. And it's amazing, absolutely amazing. But in the meantime, in a 3D world, we have to use sex to connect, to be intimate. And I'm not complaining about it. I love sex. I'm just saying the 5D is not so sexual in a physical way. It's more it's more on a spiritual, on a soul level, like connecting on that soul level and transferring intimacy back and forth. And that's the best way I can describe it. But yeah, it is amazing out here. Now, I know you hear that noise. It's because on the other side of the river over here is Prairie Farms. A whole factory on the other side of the river. It makes all kinds of racket when I'm out here trying to recharge. I'm out here trying to unwind. I'm out here trying to connect to nature. And there's that bullshit. I hate it so bad. I got mad last time I came out here because they had cut down so many trees. Why are you cutting down trees out of the forest? And then some know-it-all was like, when I would complain about it, she was like, some trees are necessary to cut down. Not in this instance. And the reason why I say that is because they're doing it to widen the path for humans to have more room to walk and to ride bikes. Humans. Let's forget about all the wildlife that lives here. You saw them, right? When I first walked in, that live in these trees. I keep hearing something behind me. Probably fairies or gnomes or something. Seriously. Or squirrels or chipmunks. But yes, they're dependent upon the trees. So let's just cut them down so humans who, you know, we need more paths and roads now, don't we? It pisses me off. But wow, those birds, that was amazing though. I'm still reeling from it. Got some birds up here. Listen, try to overlook the semis running at the factory across from the river and just listen to the birds. It's amazing. It sounds like a rainforest. This is one of my favorite places in the whole world. Absolute favorite. But that's some of what I've been going through, that, and I'm working, you know, manifesting money. I set my intentions daily. And what I've been having to do is I've been having to not worry about it. You know, because when I worry about it or stress about it, guess what? It doesn't happen. But if I tell myself, look, whatever it is I'm supposed to have, I'm going to have. What good does it do to worry about it? Who cares? Money is going to come to me, and it always does when I do that. But if my energy's messed up, if I'm anxious or worried at all, nope, it's an absolute disaster. I do not manifest. So I pretty much stay in the house Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, sometimes Wednesday. Yesterday I didn't. I got out and make videos, work through some things, recharge my battery. I'm usually clearing some sort of cycle that I'm working through. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm out there, you know, handling my sales. So I will get the Libra, the Aquarius, the Virgo, wow, and the Pisces readings done. They are coming. I kind of tapped myself out because I went kind of hard for a couple of days making videos, and I really did tap out my energy. So I've got to recharge a little bit now. But this is amazing. Hold on. I'm not going to cut this video off yet, so because I look some feathers from the ducks and geese. See if we can see a reptile. It's going to be very, very hot today. So if they're going to be out, it will be early this morning before it gets too hot. And usually they lay out here on the rocks. Hold on. This would be a great time for them to come out and sun themselves, because when it gets too hot, we've got a heat wave coming here in Indiana. So they will not be out here when it gets hot, obviously. But in the morning time, they might be. I'm looking. I usually see them down through here. This is usually where I see them at. I've walked out here on these trails before by myself. I've been out here in the evening, like at dusk, and been like just me out here. And I passed some man out here on the trails, and I've been like, you know what? I'm not even going to be scared of that, because when I'm scared, you know, if you're scared of something, guess what? You align to shit that you're scared of. So I always do try to clear that. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it, because I know that I'm divinely guided and divinely protected. No reptiles. Good morning. Sometimes you can see them swimming down the river. There is just something very, very spiritual about muddy water. I'm not taking away from salt water, but man, it's muddy water. Very spiritual. And that is why I cannot leave Indiana. I just can't. I don't even know that I want to. And you know what? That might be all right. It might be all right just to be able to stay right here. It's just sometimes I feel like I limit myself. Maybe I should open up the possibilities, you know, instead of just being in Indiana. I said just being here, but I do love it here. I hear people all the time complain about Indiana, and I'm like, wow. I think it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Well, Let me look one more place. I was really trying to get a snake in the video. Good morning. Yes, here in Indiana we greet one another. I know they don't do that in other places, but we do here. I don't see any. One more place, and I'll let you guys go. Sometimes you'll see one just go right across the trail. Nope, they're not out today. I have a feeling it's just too hot. Well, you guys enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend. If you're one of the ones that haven't gotten to your video yet this week, they're coming.